Hello and welcome once again to Better Business Bureau Serving Connecticut, a consumer outreach and marketplace insight program. This show is part of a series that deals with marketplace issues, consumer and business news, scams, tips, and public education from your BBB Serving Connecticut. This episode deals with all of the above, as well as how we get this information out to consumers. We get the word to consumers through the news media with a news release every Monday. And in 2016, the news media are very helpful, but not enough to get the message out to everyone. Typically, our public education is in the form of outreach, presentations for all different segments of the population, for example. We also get generous opportunities, such as this opportunity from Nutmeg Television to do these 6 segments of the program. And it gives me tremendous pleasure to introduce to you our guest for this episode, Connecticut BBB's Director of Marketing and Community Relations, Jackie MacKnight. Jackie, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
So it's a long title, but essentially there's a lot of marketing involved. There's some people who find marketing to be a very vague word. How do you explain it in a sentence or two?
In a sentence or two is tough, but we at the Connecticut Better Business Bureau do different types of marketing. We actually help our accredited businesses, and I actually help our accredited businesses to be better found online when they're being looked for. But I also do our marketing for Better Business Bureau. And that means billboards. It can mean anything from billboards to newspaper advertising to online methods such as social media marketing and online ads.
Now, this is strategic for people who think you just throw it at the wall and it'll stick. That's not the case, is it?
Not necessarily. I mean, you do really want to try everything, try what you can, but you have to be strategic about it. For example, with social media marketing, one of the things that we're sure to do is, you need to be where your market is. So if a consumer is looking in a given place for their news, maybe they're on Twitter, maybe they're on Facebook, you need to be there as a business, and we need to be there as a business organization, and we need to be there to deliver our content to them.
Everybody knows social media. What's the reaction to visitors? Because one thinks about a company or Better Business Bureau, what is the attraction to social media for folks?
I think it's really a way to engage with others, so with their friends, with their family, but then also to engage with brands. Today, it's a lot different to interact with a brand and to make purchasing decisions than it was years ago. And people feel as though they want to be a part of the brand. So, for Better Business Bureau, people come to us because they want to feel as though they're a part of BBB, they're helping others make decisions by interacting with us. And, even with other brands like Nike, for example, they like to feel a part of the brand when they're working with them.
And part of branding ourselves means going out into the community, and literally. What kind of presentations does Better Business Bureau do?
I mean, it absolutely deals with being out in the community. We first will share all of our events on our social media channels so we can engage with people there and have them come out to our events. But we do a lot of different things. One of which is seminars to seniors and to help them to not get scammed or defrauded. We do things, and we're hopeful to do more at college campuses. Recently, we were out visiting Central Connecticut State University, and we're hoping to build a great relationship there and to get in and help co-teach some of their business classes in the business school, and also do some marketing with them on campus and get out in front of kind of that younger demographic.
So interacting and marketing together with other organizations it's critical, isn't it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's really how we get our message out and our brand awareness out to people who need to learn it and know about it. A lot of people, we found, Better Business Bureau has been around for over 100 years, and actually today I was speaking with a gentleman on the phone who said that he was 80 plus, and he was talking about our awards that we give out. And he had seen it in the Hartford Courant, where we put an ad kind of talking about our Marketplace Excellence Awards and that they're open for entry. And he referenced it, and he was actually letting me know about a community theater in his area, which, unfortunately, community theaters aren't eligible to win the awards. They're more for businesses. But the point is, he saw it there, he called up, he interacted, and he was talking about how he knows Better Business Bureau so well and that our awards are so prestigious, and he views it as almost a congressional Medal of Honor, getting a BBB award. So, that speaks to the fact that demographic really knows BBB and understands us. But we really do as well want to get out in front of the younger demographic that may not know us as well. And that's really where one of my main goals this year is to kind of get out and get them more ingrained with BBB.
Well, it's interesting that you talk about demographics, because you cannot hit one demographic with one social media site. So what are the different categories, as far as you're concerned, the categories of people, the demographics who you're aiming your messages at?
Well, it's very interesting that you say that, because it does depend on the platform. I go through and I'm monitoring that on a consistent basis to make sure that the content that we're putting up in these given places are reaching the right people. Facebook, for example, has a fantastic ads program, and you don't have to spend a lot. You can do as little as $5 a day, $10 a day, whatever you're comfortable with. But you can target your ads to such a specific audience. So, for example, we did one talking about BBB accreditation, and we obviously didn't need to promote that to consumers, but we wanted business owners to learn more about what it means to be a BBB accredited business and why they may want to pursue that for their business. And we were able to target it specifically to business owners. You can job title target, so it would go specifically to CEOs or marketing people, and they'd be served that ad and hopefully click it. And it did do very well for us.
There is a perception among some people, or the mindset, where will I get the time to check Twitter and to check Facebook and the other platforms? Do you see that as an issue, or are you sometimes surprised at the time that people take to go to our social media sites?
Well, it's interesting, when you're working, well, first of all, I feel like most people, not everyone, are on social media today in some capacity. And as a business, again, you want to be where your clientele is. So, I would say choose one platform as a business owner, get comfortable with it before you don't jump into all of them at once. Choose one, get comfortable with it, get comfortable with the reporting and the analytics. And then, once you're comfortable, dip your foot into another pool. So, Facebook is very easy to get started with. That's what we did for BBB, and we've since then added the 5 or 6 other channels. And it is something that could essentially become a full-time job if you allow it to. But there's lots of great platforms out there that let you schedule your posts as well. So if you needed to do that as a business owner, you could.
Let's take a step back for a moment. You mentioned the awards before, and the awards of excellence have been around for many, many years, and it's a big deal.
It is.
Can you tell us about them?
Yeah, absolutely. So every year we do have awards. They're called our Marketplace Excellence Awards, and they're open for entry right now. They actually close on September 9th. So if anybody knows a business that they'd like to nominate, or if you're a business owner, you could go ahead and enter. They're right on our website at bbb.org/CT. But basically, they recognize businesses that do run a gamut of different things. One of them is our Community Care Award, and that is open for businesses that give back to the community. And actually, the winner of that award not only receives, really nice figurine kind of thing to put on up in their office, but they also receive $1,000 towards the charity of their choice. So it recognizes them for giving back and then helps them to give back even more. We also have other awards for an exceptional employee of a business. So if a business owner would like to recognize one of their associates, or if a consumer has dealt with a great associate at a given business, they can nominate that person. So it's a great give back for the business owner to recognize their associate. We have our Superior Customer Service Award, which is for a business that goes kind of above and beyond with their customer service. Even if they have a problem, they can show how they resolve them. And what am I missing?
Website.
Website, yes. Our Website Marketing Message Award is for a business who has a really strong website. They're transparent in their advertising on the website. They have a privacy policy if they're selling, that type of thing.
And when I've seen the folks at our annual meeting, and which is coming up in November, isn't it?
Correct.
And these people are so proud. We fill the room up, and obviously not everybody could win, but the quality of the businesses that enter, and when we hear them get up on stage and articulate what they do and why, the sense that I get is being accredited by Better Business Bureau means more than just having a seal. You're telling people something. What is that message?
Well, what we like to say, the people who enter these awards and the people that really care about their community and care about strengthening the marketplace here in Connecticut. And they care about great business consumer relationships. And they want to help strengthen that, not only, in their interactions with their customers, but in the whole community as a whole. So we call them our marketplace role models, and that's what the night, it's November 10th, is all about, is really recognizing those role models and all they do to strengthen the business community.
Well, I get the feeling sometimes, Jackie, that you have a family business that's been around for decades, and it's not a matter of pride, it's a matter of being able to show people that you're trustworthy.
Right.
That's hitting the nail on the head pretty much?
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. And the event itself is great too, because it gets all of these business owners in, not all of them, but a lot of them in a room together, and allows them to network and interact and sometimes get best practices from each other, and helps them to learn and grow as business owners.
Now, part of what we do on social media and all of our outreach is educate consumers. What are the kinds of things that you might post on a given week that'll educate?
Well, we do post information on all of our news releases. So whether we're linking directly to our website and talking about the news release itself, or we're linking to, maybe we're on the news. So we link to the story, and actually you can, watch the video. But really just things affecting the Connecticut marketplace. So protecting people from scams, protecting people from social media scams, protecting and helping educate them on financial information, financial literacy, credit repair, all different things like that.
Now, I was fortunate enough to see you do a presentation on financial scams. You don't have it in front of you, I don't want to put you on the spot, but what's interesting about it is you have ex-criminals, ex-scammers talking about what they do and how it works. What are the kinds of takeaway messages that we get from that sort of thing?
It's really, so what we say is we're helping to grow a fraud-fighting army. And basically, the seniors, let's say, for example, that we've gone to talk to, they take away a lot from it. And we go out and we talk about what persuasion tactics are and how scammers really try to defraud other people. And then we go a step further and we let them know what those are and tell them to go out afterwards and help educate others. A lot of times the people that take the time to come to those types of events and learn aren't necessarily the ones that are going to be defrauded, because they care and they want to learn and they know to protect themselves. But we tell them to go out and tell their friends and their family who didn't come what to look out for.
That's one of the things we see, is that education is the key, but when you see that people are still getting scammed, the IRS scam, the grandchild or friend in distress, these people are not foolish. It's the people who are scamming them are very good at what they do. Mm-hmm. And a big part of the education is social media, but as I touched on that, I'm thinking that neither the news media, the traditional media, nor social media can do it on their own. They have to work together, don't they?
Oh, absolutely. And I feel like that is one of the things that we strive to do, at Better Business Bureau is, we really take the information that we put out in the news media and then roll it into social media, and vice versa. Sometimes we stumble across things on social media and we realize, this is a problem. This is, for example, today there was another round of there was a Facebook phishing message out that was trying to get people to re-enter their password, and it's making the rounds again. And that's the type of thing, we would share with the traditional media and see if it makes sense to put out a warning or include it in another warning that might be more all-encompassing. To really educate, because some people are watching the news on TV and then other people are looking for it on Twitter.
That's exactly what I was going to touch on next, is traditional media are far from dead, but it's a question of the demographics again. Now, the younger folks, and correct me if I'm wrong, will tend to time shift. In other words, they might watch a story that was on last night. But the more traditional television watchers, radio listeners, and newspaper readers are still older folks, meaning baby boomers, I suppose.
Yeah, I really do believe that. I'll tell you, for example, I don't have TV. I don't have cable, I should say. I use streaming. So I have the internet and I watch Hulu, Netflix, streaming services like that. So I wouldn't catch the news media. I do catch it because of BBB, and I will go on and watch, relevant things like that. But I do get most of my news stories from Twitter and from Facebook and such.
One of the most mysterious demographics to understand, demographic groups, are the millennials. How different, can you define them? I mean, I've been trying for a year to figure out what millennials are exactly. How would you define it?
How would I define it? It's a pretty large group. They're people who really care about the community and they care about helping each other. And so they're a little bit more tricky to target. They're on social media. They want to give back. So you want to be able to include them and interact with them with your brand.
But it's a different kind of group than we've seen in decades, isn't it?
It is. And it's just going to continue to change.
So a couple of years from now, you see yourself pitching a different way to the next generation.
Absolutely. So we've struggled, or not struggled, but we've grown. We've had to grow, and you can never be afraid of change. And one of the things that is changing is how we reach our accredited businesses. Years ago, we would just reach out and we'd send them maybe a good news postcard if they had an inquiry with us and someone was asking about their business, a print postcard. And today, we do it through email marketing, and pretty soon, they're going to start to find out through text message, and it's just going to keep shifting as people interact in different ways.
And it's changing very, very quickly. Not just for technology. I mean, the technology is certainly helping that, but also the way people are looking at the internet. And which brings me to the next question, which is there has been a paradigm shift in the way that people look at BBB. Now, if you'd have asked somebody 20 years ago, what is Better Business Bureau, they would have said, a place to complain. Mm-hmm. But we've evolved way beyond that, haven't we?
Absolutely. And you do still hear that here and there, dependent on what demographic you're talking to. I feel like we do hear that still from maybe some baby boomers, but mostly the seniors. I feel like we do still hear that, but we are so much more. Now you come to us first. We try to really promote that through our marketing, to come to us before you have an issue and to let us help you find a business that is trustworthy. Let us help you, point you in the right direction. So we do have that. We also have customer reviews now, which we didn't have years ago. And so people can come to us and file not only and come to us with a complaint and have us help them with that and mediate it, but you can also come and tell us a positive experience you've had with a business, which is great because people do like to share their experiences.
Now, customer reviews on the internet in general are notoriously unreliable, but there's something different. We vet people who do reviews.
We do.
What is the extent of that?
So most review sites and a lot of review sites online, you can just go on and file it. You could be somebody's uncle or somebody's brother or somebody's worst enemy, and you could write, a scathing review against someone when you weren't really their consumer, or you could write a really happy one if you're their best friend. What we do that's different is we make sure that we take our time to make sure that it really is a customer of that business. So there's someone in our office that goes through and sees every customer review that comes in. The customer has to verify their email address when they submit the review. And then the business has to say, yes, this was my customer. There's a lot of checks and balances put in place. And then we also make sure in the office that they're not all coming from the same IP address and the business is kind of force feeding them through. And if we did see that, we would investigate it.
All right. Now, recently, or every year, Better Business Bureau Serving Connecticut holds a Military Appreciation Night baseball game. Now, that's tied into a program we have called Military Line. What does Military Line offer, and who does it offer it to?
Okay, so this is actually one of my favorite events, and it's a great outreach program that we do. Military Line is actually a national program that we started probably 4 years ago here in Connecticut. And basically, its mission is financial readiness equals mission readiness. So military families are slightly different than than your average family, where the husband or the wife goes away and they're deployed, and the family that's left at home isn't necessarily trained on how to pay their mortgage, how to buy a new car, how to take care of all those things. So the programs through Military Line really help educate them on how to do those things and to to be ready when their husband or wife goes away.
And how to handle finances, how to handle credit. But there are also certain scams, that target military families, and for example, trying to get, to sell them life insurance policies that are worthless, those types of things. So every year, as part of Military Appreciation Night, we bring them down into center field. And what are the smile? I was going to already give you the answer. They look proud when they're down there.
They do. So Military Appreciation Night is a great night, and basically it's at the Connecticut Tigers in Norwich, and we recognize 9 military heroes from throughout the state of Connecticut. There is a nomination process that opens for that in usually around April, and it's open until July, usually around the 4th of July. We close it, and then 9 heroes are chosen, and they're recognized on the field before the game, and we give them a commemorative plaque with a blown-up version of a baseball card, and it has their service on the back and their photo on the front. And then we give out a deck of cards to everybody, baseball cards, with all of the military heroes on it, to everybody who attends the game. And it's just so heartwarming because you see kids going up to the heroes and having them sign their baseball cards, and it's great because it gives them a real hero to look up to.
It brings a tear to your eye, honestly, it does.
It really does.
So I guess to wrap it up, what is it for you? What do you like most about working for Better Business Bureau? This is not just sitting behind a desk.
Oh, absolutely not. Maybe going back to the millennial thing, but I like feeling as though I'm helping and I'm giving back. And I really enjoy working for a Better Business Bureau because it not only allows me to help consumers here in Connecticut and help them to be safe, help them to be educated against scams and things that are affecting them, but also to be able to help business owners and help them grow their business and learn what's happening now and what they can be doing to better strengthen their business and get more business. So I really feel as though I get to help everyone, and I enjoy that.
And it's not all about business. We only have a minute or two left, but we also have student scholarships and
we do.
Incredible entries.
We do. Actually, I was working on that today before we came out here. We offer a scholarship to a high school. Well, each year it opens in the spring, and it's open to a high school junior. And then they enter it in the spring, and then they will find out the following year in their senior year if they won, and they're recognized at our awards banquet, and then they receive the monies when they go off to college, the following fall.
They're so focused when they're on stage there and thanking everybody.
They are.
Jackie, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. And nice working with you too, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. You too.
Well, that's it for this edition of Better Business Bureau Serving Connecticut. And many thanks to Nutmeg TV and the folks who work here putting together this series and all types of innovative shows. And what we've learned from our experience at Better Business Bureau is something that's important for us to share with you, as well as the expertise of our guests. And we urge you, please share what you've learned with members of your family, friends, and colleagues, and neighbors. Education is the ultimate tool to protect ourselves from criminals who are after our money and personal information. If you have a marketplace dispute or want to inquire about a particular business or professional, or simply learn more about consumer and marketplace issues, you can find us at bbb.org/Connecticut. Connecticut is spelled out, and we'll have that contact information for you in just a moment. I'm Howard Schwartz. We'll see you soon. Thank you very much.